Hey everyone, today I want to take a look at part 2 of the Reavers of Harkenwold, The Die is Cast. I covered the first part of this adventure in a previous video. This module is the conclusion to that campaign. It's for 3rd level characters and should get them to 4th level by the time they're done. At the end of the first module, the party has enlisted the aid of the Woodsinger Elves to assist with fighting against the Iron Circle, who are trying to take over the Harkenwold region of the Nintervale. This part of the adventure has the party going on the offensive against the Iron Circle. As the adventure begins, there's some role-playing as the party learns that the Iron Circle are going to be attacking the town of Albridge. There is a skill challenge to determine whether the party comes up with a sound plan for defending the town. The module uses victory points to determine the state of affairs heading into the climax of the adventure. On page 5, you award victory points based on the things that the party did in part 1 of the adventure, and then they will get additional victory points based on how they fare in the beginning of this adventure. The more victory points means the more advantageous start to the final battle. The next 3 encounters are progressively more difficult as the party tries to defend an area during the battle. The idea is that there is a larger battle going on with the other groups fighting against the Iron Circle, and these encounters are the party's responsibility. By the time of the 3rd encounter, you are using now the entire side of the poster map that's been provided with the kit, and the leader of the Iron Circle has decided to come and take the party on himself. He'll likely escape, but there are some rules if the party gets lucky and end up defeating him here before the final battle begins. The final battle takes place at the Iron Keep. This is atop a hill looking over the village of Harken. The Iron Circle is using it as their base. There are some notes about how to set up the encounter depending on how many victory points the party has received so far. It provides a map of the location, but the battle map that came with the set only includes a very small portion of this map. Next, we get a key for the entire keep. Each location gets a description along with which encounters take place in those locations. In all, there are 30 different locations inside the keep and 7 different encounters, though the first couple of encounters are more of an either or, so you probably wouldn't actually be running them both. The first encounter is a skill challenge to find a way into the keep, and there are actually 3 different skill challenges presented here depending on the tactic that the party chooses. They're all really good opportunities for role-playing, and how the party decides to move forward determines where they go next. And then the second encounter only comes into play if the party has decided that the best option to get into the keep is to try to scale the walls, and again, depending on how they fare in that attempt, will determine where they go next. The 3rd encounter in the book is only used if the party failed in their prior attempts, either through the skill challenges or by scaling the walls. Then they would end up at this encounter, which is basically just a front-on assault at the gate. If they fail at this, then that's pretty much the end of the adventure, because if they can't get into the keep, then there's really nothing more to do. And then the remaining encounters are all combat encounters that are played out as the party pursues the leader of the Iron Circle. They have to face a number of his minions and his associates first before they can confront him inside the Lord's chambers. And then we conclude the adventure. There's a little bit of information about how to wrap things up. If you plan on turning this into a larger campaign, there is an additional encounter that you can run that will then tie the Iron Circle into things that are going on so that they are an ongoing threat. But if you're just playing this as a one-off, then you wouldn't need to run this last encounter. And that's it. It is clearly combat heavy, but it is about a battle, so that's understandable. I think it plays well, and it makes a lot of sense. I like the number of options the party has for how they get into the keep. I'm not usually a fan of things like victory points, but I like how the success of the party early on can impact how hard things are later. Overall, it's a good wrap-up from part 1. Together, I think they make a nice introductory adventure for anyone that's just getting started in D&D or just learning how to DM. It covers all the bases for 4th edition. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and please check out my newsletter if you are interested. Until next time, take care.